So, what is Silver Dollar City doing? What's coming up in the future? What's happening with all the construction? What are they going to do next? More importantly, maybe what should they do next? So, if you watch my channel a bunch, you know that I'm not into rumors and speculation. In fact, especially the sites that post up a lot of false stuff drive me nuts. So I'm going to go out and just do now what I kind of said I don't like other sites doing. We're going to talk about the future of Silver Dollar City and what I think they might be doing and what their plans for the future should be, in my mind. If you saw my last video, you know that this year is a year of construction. There is a ton of dirt getting moved around. One of the first big things that's happening is their parking lots are getting completely redone. They've got them all torn up. They're leveling, they're adding to them, they're expanding. They've already actually got more parking than they did, and it's a mess. It's a 2-year project. Why redo all the parking? Because that's going to lead to the rest of this. Well, there's two things happening. One, the parking was already on busy days not quite enough. They already needed more parking. It was already on the skimpy side. So parking has been an ongoing problem. The traffic flow has been a pain. So they're fixing that. But they're not just fixing it, they're expanding it. The numbers I've heard have been close to doubling the size of the parking lot. That's a huge deal, not just to make it easier for traffic flow, but to allow a lot more cars. Part of that is because one of the big hindrances to Silver Dollar City growing is where would they put all the people who were coming in? Where would they let them park? They're fixing that. Silver Dollar City is going to have a lot more parking, a lot more ability to bring more people in, and that's going to allow them to grow in a way that they've never been able to before. There's another thing that's also happening. The other big issue that Silver Dollar City has faced in some ways is a lack of workers. The last couple years especially, they've always had a little bit of a shortage of workers, but it's been bad the last couple years. Well, they're also addressing that. They've got a huge dormitory that they're building, and it's just the first. There's going to be a couple of them. This is going to allow them to bring in international workers and summer workers and give them a place to live on property so that way they can actually boost their employment. They can boost their work staff, and that means they can actually expand a little bit. They haven't had enough even to really keep up what they've been trying to do. It's been stretching their resources. Hey, we've now got an option to fix that. So there's two of the big hindrances that have held them back. The other big thing, a lot of people keep saying, well, they needed land. Okay, you may not realize Silver Dollar City actually owns already, before the most recent purchases, the land all the way down to Table Rock Lake and going all the way out to Branson West. They filled in a couple big gaps, but they already had a ton of land, so land has never been an issue with expansion. However, with some of the new additions, it does become quite intriguing. So there's options there now that if they wanted to add a resort attached to the park, they could potentially do that. A resort? Well, when you look at Dollywood, Dollywood's kind of the model here for a lot of what I'm thinking is going to happen. Dollywood, since 2004, has doubled in size. Hugely doubled. The first time I went there, 2004, it went from Thunderhead, and it kind of made this V up to the Tennessee Tornado. Since then, they've literally filled in everything around and doubled the size of the park. It's huge. They've increased the parking, and Dollywood is now adding a resort. That, I think, is kind of the model. They're looking at what happened with Dollywood, and they're going, this worked there, we can do it in Branson. And it's kind of overdue to do it in Branson. So there will be a resort at some point. It may be where those old homes are. I think that they like to keep that frontage as kind of wilderness and looking pretty. That's one of their big ultimate company goals. But don't be surprised at all if down Indian Point Road, you see them build a resort down there that has its own entrance into the park. There is going to be a resort coming past the parking and stuff that's there now. I think you're going to see that. But the other big thing is expansion. Like I said, Dollywood has doubled in size. They've added so much more. Silver Dollar City is putting in place the opportunity to be able to do that. How? Well, we know Fire in the Hole's on its last season. Fire in the Hole has to go. Sorry, I know many of us love the ride, but it's aging and the cost to fix the ride up and the building is more than it's worth. The building is going to have to be replaced eventually anyways. It's not dangerous right now, but if you don't do something with it, it will become that way in the not too distant future. So that's why they're building the new one. Removing the old Fire in the Hole actually opens up a huge opportunity to expand the park out. Where Outlaw Run is its station, there is a gate there that kind of goes out towards the back end of the park that has nothing on it except the train tracks right now. Removing Fire in the Hole opens up another place that they can use to expand, and they could actually take that whole area around Outlaw Run and going further out towards the woods. A lot of that is relatively flat land. Think where the train tracks run. And they can expand out there. It gives them a huge opportunity to stretch out the park and put stuff in there that they wouldn't have had otherwise. Eventually, there is a big gully there that Outlaw Run actually goes down into the middle of that kind of splits that. But you can go past that, and the ground is actually level enough that you could go around Outlaw Run. The animal barn's out there right now, but you could go past the animal barn and eventually swing around to where the MNC area, maintenance and construction area, is. The roundhouse is in that area and things like that. I think eventually they're going to swing the park all the way around. This is long term. I mean, we're talking 15, 20 years down the road. Fireman's Landing provides an opportunity now. There's an exit there that goes into the maintenance and construction. You could expand out that way, swing out around behind Outlaw Run, and eventually join up with where Fire in the Hole and Outlaw Run provides an access. There is potential there to essentially add to another third, half the size of the park now, add that on again and really expand the park out. It gives options for more rides, more shopping, and a lot more to do out there, and create another big loop. Now, the one problem you have is this loop then ends up way out there. It's going to be a huge walk. So this is where the train comes in. There's a rumor out there that says they're going to use the train station, put a new train station where Fire in the Hole used to sit. Other than putting it close to the roundhouse, there's no good reason for that. But where Fire in the Hole sits gives access out there. Well, if you've got people way out in the woods and they want to come back into town, you don't want a station that's down at the bottom of the hill. You still want one that's part way up where the current station is. It allows them to put a station out in the woods in the new area eventually and keep the old one, and provides a transportation link between the two. I think you're going to see that happen as well at some point. Sadly, it may mean that the days of the robbery are eventually numbered if all of this happens, but there's potential there. What rides? Who knows? I am sure there would be new coasters, new shops, new flat rides, and other things. But imagine Silver Dollar City expanding. And the first steps to doing that is making sure you've got the parking for the people to come in and the workers to come in, and you got to have a place for those imported workers to stay. They're getting the pieces in place. They're opening up the access and providing the foundation for the future. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I think what's going to happen here at Silver Dollar City in the next 10, 15 years is going to be amazing. Now, whether my ideas are what they end up doing, or if they end up doing something completely different, we'll have to see. But there's going to be some cool stuff coming. I love to hear what you think. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm totally off my rocker? We'll see how well this ages here a few years down the road. Do you have ideas for what will or won't happen? I'd love to hear it. Please share it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, hitting that like button, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you, too, to my YouTube members and my patrons for supporting. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. I'm going to talk about some rumors and what I think Silver Dollar City might be doing More importantly, what I think they should be doing for the... Oh gosh, I totally forgot to hit the sound. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas. Be sure to share them in the comments below, or you can contact me. There's information in the description that has my email address, fan pages, information about merchandise, and so much more. So be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, hit the button right up there to subscribe. And in fact, if you did enjoy this, I've even got another video for you right here. And also about these wonderful people here, those are my YouTube members and my patrons, the ones whose financial support makes this possible. I couldn't do it without them. If you want to know more about that and the perks that come with it, well, be sure to check the description. There's a link right down there. Thank you so incredibly much. God bless.